Can you request? Never surrender. Never surrender. We shall never surrender. We shall never surrender. We shall never surrender. Never surrender. We shall never surrender. We shall never surrender.
The possibility of delay, and I would invite you to take judicial notice of the case backlog in our system, both in police, where the case is still is, and in court. With that, Your Honor, the applicant is cognizant of the gravity of this offense. But one, the gravity consideration is mitigated in these proceedings by the personal undertaking and caliber of the applicant, to the substantial nature of sureties, and the rest will be insulated by the conditions that you may be pleased to give. Obviously and axiomatically, the gravity of the offense does not negate the constitutional right and the presumption of innocence, right to apply for bail and the presumption of innocence. We have so far, Your Worship, obtained one bundle of the applicants, some of the applicants' medical records that we have been able to obtain electronically. And with your permission, we will submit a copy. And then we will upload, and we will therefore, if court desires to look at the originals, we undertake. But those are certified. In the unlikely event that you are not in a position to grant bail today, we pray for one of the two things I'm going to mention. The first is owing to his medical condition. That he be referred to hospital for urgent medical care under conditions and directions you may be pleased to give. Again, in the unlikely event that that is not done, most unlikely, microscopic, in the unlikely or microscopic event that that is not done, but without prejudice to the foregoing, we pray that you direct that prisons authorities allow him possession of an orthopedic mattress. Orthopedic mattress. Because the same is under medical prescription. the same are critically needed for his survival. Where he was previously incarcerated, when he mentioned that, they thought it was a luxury. And they advised him to sleep on the floor, which has exacerbated his back condition. He only slept on the floor for about 20 minutes. And it explains. Okay, he was lying, not sleeping, on the floor. He was lying on the floor for those 20 minutes. And those have worsened his medical condition. He has not accessed medical care from his personal medical attendants. In the unlikely event of a remand, we would pray that the same be ordered and that he be allowed to access his specialized and prescribed meals. Your Worship, we have obtained that's the second copy of the bank of his medical documents. We pray that these medical documents be kept private because they relate personal medical conditions and very private. With that, Your Honor, I reiterate what I earlier prayed and pray that you be pleased to grant bail.
That is Honorable Namoses
And Honorable
and Betty Achani.
Yes, ma'am. Then second, Your Worship, we are also requesting for the set of the medical documents with respect to the condition of the accused person, where the council referred to the second set of the medical document. We are also requesting that we should be available with thereafter. We are also praying that with the prosecutions are given time after you have seen the volume of the document. This is the one set of the medical document tendered by the council for the accused person. It is volume of it within time to study the document. And then, to study the medical document. And then we also need time to verify the particulars of the sureties. From that point, you also will be able to effectively respond to the bail application made by the council of the accused person.
So in other words, the state is unable to respond to the application.
True. Application for the bail, you also pray for referral order for urgent medical care and provision of orthopedic mattress, taking into account the condition of the applicant. He referred to that, and the mattress. The other one is critical to his condition, Your Worship. And that the applicant also needs specialized meal. He also prayed to court in the event that the court does not grant him bail, court should issue that order. He also will respond to that.
You're highlighting on his request,
what he has said.
to understand.
Yes.
Yes, on his request of grant of an orthopedic bed.
Yes.
So you are highlighting, then you can respond to the same.
Yes.
Yeah. I was telling you to understand.
Yes. Just in response to that, it is the prosecution's submission that the prison authority has the best facility in the country. It has specialized doctors. Unless otherwise court gets a report from the prison authority that they are unable to contain his condition while in prison, upon a report, maybe the court can pronounce itself on it. But as per now, there is no report from the prison authority suggesting that they are unable to have him in their facility. And to be premature for the court to say that the prison authorities are unable to have him in prison at this point or at this stage. So at this stage, also we rest our response.
So the bundle that we tend to rely on is within the possession of my colleagues.
So the bundle that is in court is in its entirety?
Absolutely.
Yes, you don't need a second bundle.
No, I only meant we were making 2 copies each, one for state and one for court. They have the same, and I would invite them to read the same. Now, the same way they were prepared to charge and provided us with the little time that they gave us. So for the documents, and I will submit all the documents where they want the orders to see and understand the medical condition. They have the documents in front of them, and I trust their ability to read and understand them now and respond. The second, Your Honor, relates to LC letters. I did mention that, yes, we would have loved to provide the same. But the circumstances imposed onto us by the prosecution could not allow us. We only learned at 11 today that the accused person had been dumped at the police in Chira. Chira, not Chira division in Lukwago side. We rushed. We cooperated with the police. By way of providing the charge and caution they required of him and his statement, which he did. We cooperated with their police sergeant to come and do his observations. And he did. Preliminary information was that they were going to charge him in Nakawa court. Even as we speak, they have not given us a copy of the charge sheet. Now, you're talking about the prosecution mounting a prosecution in good faith. I did ask my colleague, counsel for the state, when we were here, before you entered, and we look at the copy of the charge sheet, and she said, I do not have it yet. I don't know if she has it now. I have not looked at the charge sheet. I only listened attentively. I would invite my colleagues, therefore, to use the same attention I used to listen to the charge sheet and understand it. And understand the medical documents. Your Honor, the LC letters that have been mentioned are only for identification of individuals. I am so saddened that Counsel for the State, even after receiving a parliamentary ID for the Republic of Uganda, and she represents the state which issued the ID I'm talking about, and she still wants more. But I'm even more saddened that in this day and age, my learned friend cannot even verify the identity of a member of parliament electronically and digitally. I'm very, very saddened. Apart from delay, creating backlog, abusing court process, creating backlog, abusing court process, creating, congesting prisons, and persecuting, there would be no reason why a senior state attorney, two senior state attorneys, with a state attorney assisting them, would not be able to proceed with this such a and would insist that you proceed and detain, not just a sick person, a dying man. I would want to draw your attention, Your Worship, and without recruiting your sympathy, to a German national that was denied bail in Kalanga on similar flimsy grounds, and at the next hearing he was dead. And you're saying your former Lord Mayor of this city, a colleague at the bar, an officer of this court, should not walk to hospital, but should go and be condemned to death before you even try him.
Sure.
A facility to allow him live. Without inflicting a charge on the government of Uganda by way of a mattress. Somebody providing for himself a cardiac bed without asking government to provide the same. Someone providing for himself a specialized meal commensurate with his condition of life. Counsel for the State demands, I want a medical prescription for that. Your Honor, one, LC letters are not a requirement of law. It is just practice.
Because as far as court is concerned, the application has not been responded to.
True. Your Honor, we are requesting for 1 week's time. Considering that there are weekends that we might not be able to access some of these people's homes, and also noting that our application, the response is not limited to the documents, but also the law. So, Your Honor, our response will not be limited to the letters she has mentioned. It will be endowed with the law, in the law, guiding bail applications. The documents, whichever document that has been submitted to us, needs to be actually responded to. Our response will not be limited. That's matter as council has taken it. And also we note that they've served us and brought in new grounds on the medical condition of the applicants herein.
Which state needs to verify?
Which we need to actually verify and see if it's the current state of the events or it's overtaken by events, Your Honor. So it's much more than the introductory letters that have been presented, that have not been presented by the sureties. It's much more, even regarding the applicant himself, considering the charges leveled against him. So we pray for more time, Your Honor, which is a strip of 1 week. Yes.
To respond, they rejoin if any, and then court has to be given time to make a ruling on the same. Noted.
Your Honor, our prayer is specific. It's 1 week. We believe that we'll be able to.
Observation and protection of guard of security agents of government, in this case, police. But if they want prison to be in that hospital or police, we are many. Because all we are concerned about is protecting and preserving life. Because what the state is inviting you to do is to do an experiment on the accused person's life. Whether he actually will die, whether he's in good or bad condition. We have not had the benefit of receiving from them the report of their police surgeon. Because she's talking about, we want to know the current state. The police surgeon did review the accused person. We are not privy to the report that he made. If they had shared with us, probably it would be a starting point for us. But it's not. We can only relate to the situation as we know it from our side. And I will give them the benefit of doubt that they do not know his condition before here. Now, I'm only speaking from a point that I know how I found him in police custody today, how he has lived before, which is not within their knowledge. As a win-win and stopgap measure, would they find pleasure to concede, as we concede to their adjournment, even for that 1 week, he be placed under medical care, under guard or protection, unless the intention is different. Maybe to subdue, maybe someone to die, or for the medical condition to exacerbate beyond repair. If the intention is justice, and justice meaning a trial of a person that is not dead, then I would invite them to concede to a medical referral to go to hospital under their guard, limited visitation. Even a government hospital, I am okay, including Malawi, provided it's not a military facility. Then, in exchange, we also concede to their adjournment for that 1 week. Because our proposed roadmap was, if he's in hospital for at least one.
Council Remanded has ably applied for bail. The state has not responded to the same, giving their reasons. They need to verify. The issue is not about the letters. The letters have been availed. According to the state, they need time to verify the medical conditions according to them. So I believe in the interest of justice, since there are medical issues presented to court, the state will be given 2 days to respond. Yes, the state will be given 2 days to respond, and that is today's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. In order to save time, why can't state file written submissions in that regard and have them filed electronically? Honorable Medad Segona could rejoin if any, and then court can deliver a ruling on the same. Yes, let's state Peru's. This is an order of court. Let's state, yes, have these 2 days. Peru's file submissions electronically. Council Medad, I believe you can respond.
In 1 day.
You can respond in 1 day.
Yes.
So that will be by. No, the state files and serves by Friday. They are given 2 days to verify. The state files and serves by Friday. So the defense will respond, if any, by Monday. Then can we meet
I
here?
actually don't need money.
You don't need
Since
since it's electronic.
filing is electronic.
Electronic, yes.
We will file on Saturday.
On Saturday. Then, if that is the case, then we shall have a mention on Monday, if I have all electronically filed, because sometimes the directives are not complied with. So we can have a mention on Monday. Salongo will be remanded till then, till Monday. The prison authorities are directed to take into account his medical condition. Specifically, we shall remand him to Murchison Bay. I think that's where the hospital is. Yes, that is where the hospital is. And then you can have a meet-up with the prison authorities on the issue of your orthopedic bed, such that you can make arrangements and have it available. So he will be remanded till.
Before you do that, Your Honor.
So he will meet, the family will meet up with the prison authorities and arrange on how the issue of the orthopedic mattress will be delivered or handled accordingly. I guess we are clear on that. Yes. Be remanded to days. So step for avoidance of doubt, time. Monday 10. Is it available for the yes?
Yes, it's available.
I believe even if it's a Sunday, it will be available.
We'll be here in the Christmas.
They are persecuting him. I have sincere hope that he will be out to proceed with the defense of his clients. Because those clients gave us instructions, we cannot abandon them along the way, even in the face of adversity and threats unto our lives as professionals. But we also want to thank those people that have stood with us. It has been trying. We've been tribulating, but there are people who stood with us, even while others chickened and feared to associate because of the brutal nature of the accuser. Many, Uganda Law Society, a society to which we proudly belong, the Radical Nuba leadership, the East African Law Society, the Pan-African Lawyers Union, the Commonwealth Lawyers Association, and the International Bar Association, and all professional bodies, the Muslim Lawyers Association. I think I also saw their voice. It came out. And the various individuals and institutions that came out to boldly say no. Ladies and gentlemen, today it's me, tomorrow it's you. I mean, you've seen that there is a list, that now it is Lukwago, next it is his lawyer, and the colleague, Honorable Martha Karua. At least for her, she's lucky, she's beyond the borders. Then the next is Semuju. Next, I think, is Barrio Musi, because the man said he wants to jump on Barrio Musi's belly as a bouncing castle. Maybe also thank you to his wife, sister, Charlotte. She's the wife. She's his wife. Okay, we want to thank her because he said she directed him to release. But we want to ask Charlotte, where have you been with all these happenings? Mama Jean, where have you been with all these things happening? And the Genome 7, my brother, where have you been when your son is doing all these embarrassing things to you? Police, where are you? I was surprised that even when they dropped somebody, a torture victim today at Chira, the police did not arrest those bandits. I was surprised. That notwithstanding, this is step one. Oh, thank you, team of lawyers with whom we worked on the habeas corpus. Maybe you need to know that we filed the habeas corpus this morning, and probably it woke them up. And in the habeas corpus, we still named the Muhoozi Kainerugaba. We did not cowardize. First, we want to respect institutions in this country. But nobody is going to respect an institution headed by somebody who does not respect the law. Now, you saw that it extended into the police. You saw how they were brutalizing me, stopping me from entering court. I went to pick documents from my colleagues, the lawyers that had been blocked, Beka Seka Njako, Kabuye, and Wiz. Then they refused me to come back. I said, people, my client has been taken to court. They said, no, you're not going. I had to force my way. Why? Is that necessary? But I mean, because it is the way to go if you want to get a promotion here. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, people who turned up. We want to thank Narongo for remaining steadfast. You know, sometimes our spouses. To our son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, I will appeal to you still. Look at your peers. The people you went to school with, the people you went with to those military academies, on our money. Look at how they conduct themselves. Get me one, not two, who behaves like you, who threatens others to break limb and destroy life, who dignifies himself in dignifying others. Just one, not two. You studied. We paid for you to study in South Africa, paid for you to study in Egypt, paid for you to study in Sandhurst, paid for you to study in Arkansas. You know, the instruction you received from there is to command and protect us, not to command and hurt us. I take particular note of your threat onto my life and person. Of course, I am not so hard-hearted or stone-hearted to say I do not worry or care. I care. I fear you even. But I fear the law more than anything. There are certain things that should be of an institution created by the Constitution. You enjoy that high office because it was created by the law. The only way you can sit lawfully in that office is by respecting the law that placed you there, plus the responsibilities that I'm also going to appeal to the Bataka of Buganda, because one of their sons, Joel Museveni, produced a son who is brutalizing us. I want to sincerely hope that I will not disappear, that I will be around. But whether I'm around or not, the voice that I raise will be there. The issues that I stand for will remain there and will have to be solved if we all are going to have peace. Martin Luther King Jr. said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Abooluganda, forcefully shaved off his hair. I said there are certain things I do not want to mention, but that is visible. They shaved off his hair forcefully with an unsanitized machine. I also want to tell you that he was forced to eat posho and beans. First of all, I suspect it had a lot of salt. I don't know if it had other components. But we have said consistently that his meals are prescribed medically. What you are supposed to eat, when and how. So they forced him to eat posho and beans, which exacerbated his condition, as I mentioned. All his underlying medical conditions rose up as a result of the environment in which he has been for the last 2 days.